Going live. Why, hello there, everybody. Welcome to Miami Dolphins Syndicate. Jacob, Donovan, we're late. Last week I was on time. It's his fault. Just saying.
It was a phone call.
It was your fault. I don't care. I was by myself. Last week, it was all me. I showed up early. I got here early. I was on time. Now, because of you, we're late.
Sure, we'll go with that.
No, it is. People, I know there's nobody in here yet, but eventually people will file in. People that were at the show last week, I got started at 6:55. I got started at 6:55. Yeah. I got here early. Oops.
Look at you.
I got here on time, ready to go. And just another week of Donovan. It's pattern recognition. All right. You see things happen, and you start to pick up on people's downfalls. And one of them for you is you're just never on time.
That's just not true because when I was by myself, I was also on time.
So, how convenient, the one time. Anywho.
The one time you were by yourself, sir.
I'm always sitting here ready to go. I got home, I was ready to go like 30 minutes ago.
I was ready to go 30 minutes ago. You didn't show up in here until 10 minutes ago.
Except I came in ready. When I came in here ready, I was ready to go on the moment, start now.
I know I wear a jersey for every live, but you notice that I'm wearing the white throwbacks that we'll be wearing this Sunday.
Ooh. I forgot we're doing that. I mean, is there anybody that's actually going to be playing, though, that's going to be wearing them? I mean, as far as I'm aware, everybody's hurt.
It's not going to be Hoffman's.
Yeah.
So the bad news is that Nick Needham, Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Howard, Cam Smith were all on the injury report. The good thing about it, though, is that they were all practicing for the first time all together this year.
Jeez, Lord have mercy. Wait, how did Cam Smith get on the injury report? How did that happen?
Foot injury.
Jeez. Oh my gosh.
Someone else commented under when they put the practice report out. How did Cam Smith get hurt when he plays 4 snaps all year long? And I'm like, he does play special teams. He's a good special teamer, but I don't want my second round pick to be a good special teamer.
Yeah, we saw Noah Gbenogany, since he wasn't able to do that. Our first round pick didn't play at all last year. There's so much to talk about today. Injuries, unfortunately, is the number one thing to talk about when it comes to the Dolphins team. I mean, I'm staring at the list right now on my laptop, and like it's literally taking up my entire page. This is the list. This is the list. My entire page. Patriots got a lot to deal with too, but yeah, we're playing the Patriots. We're using the throwbacks. We're using the white throwbacks. You said.
Yeah, the white throwbacks.
So
I don't think we're going to use the. I don't think we're going to see the teal. I think we're using the teal on Monday night against the Titans.
Are we?
I think so. I'm like 89% sure. I think the thing is that they just don't want to wear any kind of color unless with the sun being out. They want to be, white on white on 1:00 games.
I mean,
being that
is it going to be a high?
I understand.
No, it's going to be like
92?
it's going to be no, it's going to be a high of 85. So it's probably going to be game time. It's probably going to be 85.
What is it right now?
78 in Coral Springs. I mean, so to be fair, it's Coral Springs rather than Miami. So Miami is the exact same. So it's currently 79 in Miami, and it's going to be 85 on game day. So he's not really a factor, which is beautiful for us in the stands. Thank you, Lord. I was so sick of summer. I was so sick of how hot it was. My dad said it's supposed to be a cold winter. I'll take it. I don't know if it's true or not. Oh yeah,
there's no such thing as
a South Florida cold. A South Florida cold. It's limited. I think the first thing to talk about is the injuries, and the injury that obviously comes to the forefront most is Tyreek Hill, who was added today. Ian Rappaport saying it's really up in the air as to whether he plays. There's a good chance that he may not play. He's on the injury report, as well as we see with the jersey right here, Javon Holland, Alec Ingold, Robert Jones, Raheem Mostert, River Craycraft, Xavier Howard, Cater Koo, Nick Needham, Jalen Ramsey, Cam Smith, Jalen Waddle, Connor Williams, David Long. So a lot of good players. are on the injury report. The ones that did not practice were Tyreek Hill, Javon Holland, Alec Ingold, Robert Jones, and Raheem Mostert. David Long actually was a full participant, but he is still on the injury list. The rest of those were limited in some capacity. Like he mentioned, Xavier Howard, Cater Cahoon, Nick Needham, Jalen Ramsey, Cam Smith, outside of Eli freaking Apple, our entire quarterback squad is on the injury report.
It's a good thing they don't have any receivers. I mean, they have Kendrick Bourne, but
it just would make sense that Eli Apple. It would just make sense that Eli Apple is the one that's healthy.
What's funny is so we were discussing some things in another chat and talk about trades. We'll get to that in a little bit, but I was like, I'll give you Eli Apple and a third for this player, and he's like, I'll take a fourth instead of that. I'm like, I'll give you a fourth just to take Eli Apple. Yeah, I very much.
What's up, Rodolfo? Yeah, it's a weird time right now.
What's up, Rodolfo?
The media is loving to turn their head at the Dolphins, and it makes sense. But as much as I don't want to make excuses, part of the game on Sunday, part of the loss was due to the injuries. It's not the just straight up reason that we lost, but if we're close to 100%, like they were able to get Devontae Smith, who they thought was going to be out, Lane Johnson, who they thought was going to be out. They got Darius Slay, who was on the fence of playing. Like they got all those guys back. Our guys who were close to playing or not playing pretty much all didn't play. So this week, I mean, who are the guys that you feel best about playing on Sunday? Do you have the injury list in front of you?
I do. Alec Ingold,
he just keeps finding a way to play. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in a boot on Wednesday and still played on Sunday, so I think he'll play.
Dog.
Rob Jones, that wasn't injury related, so he'll play.
Yeah.
Mostert I think will go. Craycraft, I don't think they're activating him this week.
Doubt that.
I feel good about Cater playing because he came up with a neck injury last Friday. And played.
He was still good to go.
Know that and David Long. Gee. So I feel good about 3 or 4 of the 15 players we have on. Because I told you, you were more confident than I am that Xavier Howard is going to play. I'm like, I think that he's more so leaning towards not playing.
And what we said on the phone, or actually when you were over here earlier today, was you said on the basis of Connor Williams re-aggravated his groin injury, and we've seen him now miss 2-3 games. He's missed 4 total games this season, or gotten hurt in 4 total games this season.
So he's missed part of one game. But he missed 3 total. He got injured at the end of the Broncos game, missed the Bills game.
Yeah, okay, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and then came back, injured himself again in, was it the Giants or Panthers game? Finished that one out, but then was out for the Panthers and the last one.
Yeah, so the Giants game. So do we think Ramsey comes back this week?
Rodolfo says he thinks he's gonna play. I think there's a good possibility. I'm kind of leaning if it's 50-50, I'm going to lean towards the 50 that he plays.
Okay.
I don't think Nick Needham plays on the basis of they opened up his practice window and he hasn't been anything more than limited. Now, if he does ramp up to full participation by Friday, I think if he's a full participation in Friday's practice, I think he plays. Other than that, it's gonna be a rough one. All of our corners except Eli Apple.
It's true.
Oh,
it's.
I mean, technically Perry Nickerson too, but
who? Who?
He was on the Jets. He was our highest graded defensive player last week. Ironically, Zach Steeler and Christian Wilkins were our worst graded. This is also per PFF, so take it with a grain of salt.
We have 6 defensive backs. Wait, let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because Javon Holland, we have not seen somebody be in the concussion protocol during the week and then play. That's why everyone assumes Brock Purdy's going to miss. That news came out today. Probably going to be Darnold playing for the 49ers this week. He came back in the game and then self-reported symptoms. So I think that's even another reason that they'll be a little cautious, even though it was the non-affiliated person that was able to clear him. He then reported it, so then the team's probably going to be a little more on the safe side. Obviously, that's a big miss, but if you are to miss a position, I feel great about the safety position. I think last week, correct me if I'm mistaken, Mac Jones did not complete a single pass more than 20 yards beyond the line of scrimmage.
I don't know.
I was watching First Things First, and I'm pretty sure, or that's Nick Wright's show, right? Yeah, I think First Things First. I was watching that, and I saw they showed the throw chart, and I think he had one that was like exactly 20 yards. So if we're going to be weak at any position, I'm very comfortable with it being the safety position. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Cam Smith, Jalen Ramsey, Nick Needham, Cater Kahu, Xavier Howard, Javon Holland, like, even though we don't think the passing attack from the Patriots is going to be that fruitful, that is still a tall ask to throw. Let's say I think it's 50-50. Let's say Holland misses. Let's say Nick Needham and Jalen Ramsey don't make their first appearances. But let's say Cam Smith, Cater Kahu, Xavier Howard. Let's say those three play, the guys who've been playing all year long. Even that is a rough job with Eli Apple, with whoever you said. I already forgot his name. Like, we've seen the secondary hasn't been that great this year. So even though it's not coming against a great opponent, that still is concerning to me.
Yeah, it is concerning, and the Patriots, like, as much crap as we give them and you give them.
I do. I give the Patriots a lot of crap, and I'm going to keep doing that.
The last couple of games have been in it to the end. They beat the Bills.
Yeah.
And
sorry, go ahead.
A lot of people were like, now given the Bills defense is extremely injured, but so was ours.
Yeah, that's why I actually wanted to ask you was, like, I assume you were watching that game on Sunday, or at the very least had Red Zone on, so you were flipping back and forth to that game.
I had Red Zone on, yeah.
Yeah. So I had Red Zone on my laptop, and I had that game on my TV. And while watching that or watching moments of that game, like, what was going through? Did you really think the Patriots were actually going to end up winning it? And then when Gesicki scored, which I can kind of figure what your reaction to that would be, but, like, what was your thoughts when you saw the Patriots were able to take down the Bills?
When I saw that, I was like, I wasn't necessarily surprised, just because, like, it was in New England, right?
It was, yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
It was.
Yeah, if it's New England is a tough place to go, and with their defense got a lot healthier. Now, the last time we played, their defense was extremely beat up. They were missing their top 3 corners or top 4 corners. All the Joneses that they have in their secondary, they were missing. Jack Jones, Jonathan Jones, Mac Jones.
Mentally speaking.
There's another one back there, but they're missing all those guys, and then now they get J.C. Jackson from the Chargers. Jonathan Jones is back. I think Jack Jones is as well, and they're a little bit healthier overall on defense. So it wasn't too surprising to see how they were able to kind of hold a limited Bills offense, because the Bills offense hasn't been all that. They're one-dimensional. They're Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen.
Yeah,
that's all they really got. And when they were forced to go to Dalton Kincaid, given he's been a somewhat decent weapon that game, but, like, that's not Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
So it wasn't surprising, but there were a lot of key contributing factors. The Patriots defense got healthy. Bills offense one-dimensional. Bills defense completely torn up. And maybe the Patriots offense somewhat getting into rhythm. Kendrick Bourne isn't bad, so there's that.
Yeah, that rhythm, I think, was that was going to be my first point, was how the Bills played in the first quarter. I think it was only a 10-0 game at the end of the first quarter, or it might have been 3-0, might have been 10-0, one of the two. But the Patriots took that first drive down, got it, I think, in the red zone, and then ended up kicking a field goal. And then the first play that Josh Allen throws is an interception. And that just set the tone for the remainder of the game. Josh Allen, we know Josh Allen is either going to demolish you or is going to have a very rough game. And I'm sure by now he's heard that criticism of himself. I'm sure the Bills organization knows that. It's their, I mean, Colin Cowherd calls it the Mike Tyson of the NFL. They're either going to beat you with that first punch, or it could be a rough day for them at the office. So that first interception really set the tone for both teams. The Bills made a couple mistakes. I don't believe there was a turnover after that, but the Patriots just played a very clean game. They had that fumble for Kendrick Bourne, and then Mac Jones drives him down the field with less than 2 minutes to go. Mac Jones has his best game, in my opinion, as a Patriot. They operated within the offense. Again, didn't throw the ball down the field. The defense did a good job at, even though Diggs still got, I think, like 8 catches for like 80 yards and a touchdown or whatever it was. Nobody else is going to beat them. Their mentality for us was, stop Waddle, stop Hill. All they did was just stop Diggs. And that was their only mentality, and they couldn't really do that, but they didn't really let anybody else eat at the same time. So that does kind of concern me that we saw them dominate on defense like that against Stephon Diggs, against the Bills. And like you said, they were missing all the Joneses. They were missing all their corners. Their injury report is a lot kinder than ours is. Keon White, concussion. What we said about Javon Holland, he's probably not going to play. Calvin Anderson, all the rest of these guys are limited. Calvin Anderson, Christian Barmore, Trent Brown, Devon Godshaw, Hunter Henry, Ty Montgomery, Cole Strange, Josh Uche, Sean Wade, and Dietrich Wise. And if you look at that, there's only one corner on the injury report. So definitely health-wise, a lot better than we are. And they're also coming off a game they feel really good about, and we're kind of in the opposite direction.
Yeah, and they're actually, I forgot to mention when we played them last time, they were also, I think, missing 2 or 3 offensive linemen, just like we are now. So it's basically like their health report for the first game is basically our health report for this game. 3 linemen out, and every single corner on the imaginable on the injury report. But yeah, it's theirs is a lot kinder. They're a lot healthier. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, we're gonna beat the brakes off them. But did you know? So the Patriots are one of 3 teams to actually hold us under 30 points this year. I think we won, what was it, 27-20 or something like that? 27-21?
I know it was a relatively close game. I think it was a 7-point margin of victory because I think it was about to take us to overtime. It was 24-17.
24-17.
Yeah, so close enough.
About 27.
Close enough.
Yeah, but I had on the wrong side. But yeah, their defense is going to be good. Now, they did that without all their corners, and they did that with a healthy Tyreek Hill, a healthy Jalen Waddle. Now, and our full offensive line, I think, played in that game. I think besides Teron Armstead, I think we had a full healthy offensive line in that. So, yeah. So it's gonna be interesting because you can't ever count. You can always count on the Patriots' defense being good. I think it's really just going to be a matter of if our defense can slow down their offense, which on the bright side of things, our defense looked the best it has all season against one of the best offenses in the league. So there's that. Yeah,
that there is positive takes away from our side, but for the Patriots, they played their best game of the season. I think without a doubt against the Bills. They beat the Jets, but that was just a miserable game. Like those Jets-Patriots games have been just absolute atrocious to watch recently. But Mac Jones played his best game of his career. They played about as perfectly as they possibly could. Kendrick Bourne had his fumble. That's the one thing set aside that they didn't do right. I still kind of have the same mentality that I did before, though. I don't really believe the Patriots. I don't think they're this. I don't think this is their renaissance. I don't think this is their moments that they are going to now turn things around. I think it was actually kind of a bad thing for them that they won, making it that much more difficult to get the number 1 overall pick. Mac Jones, 25 of 30, 2 interceptions, 272 yards. Again, his best game as a pro. They cannot run the ball. They have no identity in the rushing game. 96 yards in the game. Zeke out-carried Ramondre, but still only got 31 yards. Ramondre had 34 yards himself, 3.8 a carry, 2.8 per carry. Demario Douglas was 20 of those yards on I don't even know how he got it, but Mac Jones had 11 yards. Their running backs are bad. Ramondre's been bad all season. Ezekiel Elliott's been bad all season. You look in their receiving game, Kendrick Bourne, again, like you said, he's good. He's a solid player. If he's your wide receiver one, you probably want to kill yourself. 6 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown is not great. But they won. They found the way to win. And that's the one thing you can always say about a Bill Belichick team is they find ways to win. But you look at their stats, like we do every week with our opposing teams. Their offensive stats, you know what? Not as bad as I expected them to be. Well, the one thing that is really bad, which I say is probably the most important thing, not probably, definitely the most important thing, 30th in points. Not great. Not great. Not great. 30th in points. Mac Jones has thrown a fair amount of interceptions on the season. They're high in attempts. Here's the thing. They're high in attempts. They sustain drives. Their drives just lead to nowhere. They don't get to the red zone. They're 28th in red zone attempts. They are 22nd in first downs. They're 23rd in third down percentage. They protect Mac Jones, only the 10th most sacks in the NFL. But like, you look at these numbers: 7th most passing attempts, 18th most rushing attempts. But then the actual results, the fruits from the labor, the offense is not a good offense by any means. So let's now look over at the defense. They don't get a lot of turnovers, 27th in turnovers, which we don't either. We're 22nd. They allow the 25th most plays. And again, here they don't allow a lot of attempts, but they kind of allow a lot of scores. 12th most most passing touchdowns. Actually, I may have stand corrected on that. Only the 22nd most touchdowns allowed. They're really good in the red zone on defense. 8th in red zone touchdown percentage in the NFL. They are not good against the pass, though. Oh, actually, I'm looking at the Eagles. Excuse me. They're middle of the road against the pass. I wasn't looking at the Eagles for the rest of those, just for the record. Just for that one, I was looking at the Eagles. Against the pass, middle of the board, 19th in completions. Good against passing touchdowns, 12th against the touchdown. They're definitely better on defense than they are on offense, but I think this is still a bad football team.
I mean, if you find ways to win, which Bill does, and it's a division game, it's like, it's so hand in hand. Like, it could, I'm not going to sit here and be like, okay, we're going to, like, I've sat here and been like, yeah, we're going to blow the doors off of the Broncos. We're going to blow the doors off of the Giants. Blow the doors off of the Panthers. Those are bad teams. The Patriots, meanwhile, they have zero talent, are still well coached. You know, I mean, they finally have a somewhat decent offensive coordinator.
Somewhat. Somewhat. I still don't like how their offense
I still said somewhat. I said somewhat. I mean, it's a better offensive coordinator than Matt Patricia. So
it's an offensive coordinator, is what you mean.
Yes.
It's an actual offensive coordinator.
Yes. I'm pretty sure our boy Jay can run that offense better than...
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it.
I would love to see it. Imagine.
You know what they might actually have? Pre-snap motion. Oh my gosh. So crazy.
Would it be hilarious if in like 6 years they're like, okay, yeah, 29-year-old Jay is going to be taking over for Bill Belichick as he retires with the most wins in NFL history.
Do you even know what his first name actually is?
Jaquez?
Jaquez, yeah, okay. Fair enough. Continue. Just making sure.
I just didn't want to put his full government name out there.
I mean, we didn't say his last name.
Hence the reason I was like,
also, I mean,
okay.
we've also said he's on the coaching staff of UCF, so I'm pretty sure people can figure that out if they really wanted to.
Now that you told them they can,
we've said that before.
Before they just had to put 2 and 2 together.
Oh
anyways,
gosh. if the 6 of you guys want to go, I don't know. Let me stop. Let me not get in trouble.
Just stop, bro.
If you want, if you go to UCF and you want to throw something at the field, hit the guy in the yellow shirt. Continue.
Okay, that's fair.
I think he wears yellow.
Hair.
Yes,
he does wear yellow.
He has curly hair. Assault him. I'm sorry.
I forgot where we were. I think we were still talking about
Patriots offense sucks.
Patriots offense
we've been
sucks.
gone on
So
injuries
I mean,
for a long time.
Yeah. Anyways, Our offense is good, but how good will it be if Tyreek Hill, like you said, up in the air on if he plays or not? Obviously, we saw Jalen Waddle re-enter the game last week, but it was clear that he wasn't 100%. He was struggling to get back to the line during the 2-minute drill. So it's kind of up in the air, in my opinion, on if he plays as well. So it could be down Tyreek and Jalen for this game. So we would have Cedric Wilson, which before we had Tyreek Hill, he was our wide receiver 2. So Cedric Wilson and Chase Claypool as our 1 and 2.
My next question was actually going to be, what does this offense even look like without Tyreek Hill in Waddle? This offense is built around Tua being able to get the ball out of his hands quickly into some speedy receivers. In order to do that, you have to trust who you are throwing to. You have to trust that they're going to be at the point in the route, because Tua his anticipation is phenomenal. But part of anticipation is knowing where they're going to be. He's built that rapport with Waddle. He's built that rapport with Hill. We see Barrios is definitely getting really comfortable. It's taken a couple of years, but we're finally seeing that with Cedric Wilson. So
I was gonna say I've seen.
He's getting
Wilson
there.
Has looked good. He's looked good this year.
I wouldn't say this year, but he's had a few.
He's
involved.
He's had a couple of big plays. He's had a couple of big plays that for example, what was
I think that was the longest pass.
The 28-yard dot that was to him given. He was also targeted. It looked like their timing was good on the face mask pass interference thing.
He has not been that good. He has 7 catches for 116 yards. He has not scored. That was his longest play of the season. He doesn't have a touchdown. We've just seen him involved.
I would say at least 5 of those catches were big catches, like third down type of situation. So yeah, that's what I would say on that. But I think he has a good rapport going down with Cedric and with Barrios. Now after that, our wide receiver room gets extremely thin.
Do you think Claypool gets a catch?
He would have to.
I'm actually excited to see him. He got on the field. He ran around a little bit. He hit a block. Nothing. He didn't do anything, obviously, but I don't know. I'm just kind of excited to see him actually get involved.
I am excited to see him actually get involved, and I think that may come into play if even if Tyreek does play. I doubt he's going to play the same percentage of snaps he normally does. So probably going to see more of Claypool. He was supposed to get more snaps last week. But he
sucks.
What was it? With the way that the game plan got changed up with only scoring 10 offensive points, he was brought back to the sideline, so he only got a few snaps. So he's supposed to get more involved every week. But after that, bro, I mean, who is it? After Cedric Wilson, after Barrios, we have Braylon Sanders is still in the practice squad.
Oh dear God, he's still here?
Yeah, I mean, hey, he's on the practice squad, and Tua does have a good rapport with him, so he probably will get called up. Craycraft, his window has been activated, but who knows if he actually comes off this week.
Do you think so? Bizarro just said he best believe Tyreek is playing. The reports just kind of came out today, so it is kind of fresh. So we don't really know a lot, but do you think he's going to play?
I'm leaning towards that he plays, but I don't know with how.
Is that hopeful or actually based on you think he's going to play?
Based on his history of battling, in Kansas City he battled through a few different injuries and played on. He battles through cramps like crazy with us, and he still goes.
I don't understand how he cramps every single game
so easily.
I don't get it.
Literally, the reason he doesn't wear socks is so he can get an IV in his vein in his leg.
Yeah, the fact that that's a regular thing. Well, it was just. Yeah. I think it was just in that moment. I don't think that's a regular thing that he does.
No, that's literally. He literally said that. Oh. He said that's the reason he doesn't wear socks.
That's crazy. I think he plays too. I think it's going to be. He plays. Not every single snap. He'll run really hard. Go out for a play, come back in. I think it'll be run hard, miss a play or 2 or 3. like not necessarily a snap count, but just very much just paying attention, because there is a chance that this game is close. But the previous game was a 7-point game. The Patriots know how to scheme and whatnot. So like because of that, we're probably going to need him. But you also your mind's just partially in Germany. Your mind's just slightly down the road for Kansas City, and
Man.
if we don't have Tyreek Hill, there's no chance we're beating the Chiefs.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And then you also look at it from his point of view. He's trying to be the first receiver to get 2,000. He's on pace. He's been on pace all year long. If he misses this game, there's still a decent shot that he gets it in 16 games, but it's a lot more difficult to hit it in 16 than it is in 17.
Yeah, I mean, what's Megatron's record? Did Megatron crack 2,000?
No, he didn't crack 2K. It was like 1850 something.
My fan makes a lot of freaking noise.
Because I think Cup was like 20 yards off his record or something.
1964.
I was damn close. I said 1950 something.
That is close. And Price is right. You still get that. But 2,000 would be sexy. 2,000. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I said you still get it. 2,000 would be sexy. Now, and if he let's say he does miss a game and then gets that 2,000, then he has the argument, hey, I did it in 16 games.
Yeah.
Because everyone loves to dog the records now because we have that extra game.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And you know how I was dogging Waddle when he broke Anquan Bolden's rookie reception record?
On the first drive of that
game. And
they're
like, oh, yeah, he had 17 games or blah, blah, blah. Okay, he missed the game because of COVID. He did it in 16 games. The record is in 16 games.
I completely forgot that was a thing. I completely forgot he missed the game that year. No, not the record. I saw his.
Okay.
I went to Canton. I went to the Hall of Fame. I can confirm it's there. It's sitting there right next to. I think it's sitting right next to Debo's jersey. I don't know what record Debo broke, but I'm pretty sure it's right next to Debo Samuel's jersey. What record did he break? I'm looking that up. Pretty sure it was Debo Samuel. If anybody otherwise I would never recommend going to Canton, Ohio. I don't know
other than to see the Hall of Fame.
I don't know if I'd ever recommend going to Ohio in general. I love my family over there, but like the memes are. There's a reason the memes are there. I know you're gonna say so.
There's two things in Ohio, and you're wearing one of them.
Cedar Point.
If y'all can't see that, that is a Steel Vengeance shirt from Cedar Point, the roller coaster capital of the world. It's actually a beautiful park. Was that Lake Erie over there? I want to say that's Lake Erie.
It's a lake. Can't confirm.
It's one of the Great Lakes, and it's actually really, really nice over there. So if y'all ever go to Ohio, go to Sandusky, Ohio, and go to Cedar Point. And maybe can.
So Debo Samuel's jersey, I'm pretty sure, is in the Hall of Fame. I'm reading this here because he was the first wide receiver to rush for 3 touchdowns.
In a game?
No, just in general in 2 of his first 3 seasons. I thought it was in a game.
Is Jay Ajayi's jersey still there or no?
I don't remember. I want to say
I don't think you sent that to me when you were there, because I remember his jersey was in the Hall of Fame for when he ran for the back-to-back 200-yard games, and he had 3 in like a span of 4 games or 5 games or something like that.
Hey, CBS News, I'm not taking off ad blocker. Leave me alone. I don't care. You're not getting my money. Or not getting money because of me. So it's not letting me read it. But it looks like, and I see O.J. Simpson. That's the only thing I really see on the page. So interesting.
Oh my lord!
Apparently it's still there. I believe it is there because it's in this picture. It's next to Larry Fitzgerald, and I'm pretty sure that rings a bell. Yeah, a really cool place. Hall of Fame. I mean, like I said, literally in the middle of nowhere. Like, there's no if you're driving through. Let's say you're going like a road trip in the United States. You got your northeast done, and now you're heading over the north to go to the west coast. Stop by. You can see Akron, Ohio, which Literally is nothing there. There's most of the state of Ohio. There's nothing there. So there's a reason why the Ohio memes ring so true.
Jeez. All right, well, back to football.
What do you mean back to football? We were just talking about football. Your transitions suck, by the way. 1,000.
Whatever.
Back to brother. Just say what you got to say.
All right, back to football.
Are the Dolphins gonna be good again?
They will, eventually.
Can we only beat bad teams?
Okay, if you all haven't watched if the Dolphins are fraud videos or not, go ahead and watch it after the stream is done. Yeah, Dolphins are not frauds. That's just plain and simple.
I think there's a little. I think there's a little bit, not frauds, but like there is a little truth behind the we can only beat good teams. Because there is a way to beat us, and good teams have figured it out.
A major factor in it, though, is that we were in two of the most hostile environments that there possibly could be, with a backup center, and the timing of the snap with our motions is very important for the offense. So I think that played a major factor. We saw multiple times, like Tua even had to eat a play. Just like literally it was supposed to be a handoff to Ahmed, and the snap was so late that he actually had to just literally take a slide.
Yes, but you could also say that every team deals with something. Like, we're not the only team that is... Now, our injuries are absurd, and our injuries to good players at key positions is absurd. Like, I'm not denying any of that, but I am kind of playing devil's advocate that there is definitely... It's not nothing. Like, there is something to, like, wait, maybe these good teams can figure out how to stop this offense, because multiple teams now have. Even with, yes, the excuse we had last time, we don't have those same excuses for when we were playing in Buffalo. Like, Buffalo Bills put a cap on the top of the defense, stop Tyreek Hill, stop Waddle, you stop the Dolphins.
I mean, we didn't have Connor Williams for that game either.
Yeah, but they lost Tre'Davious White, they lost another piece. Like,
Tre'Davious White was literally at the end of the game. I don't want to hear that.
I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying it's not true, though.
Tre'Davious White literally got hurt on the last offensive play.
Okay, but that's just a segment of what I'm saying. It's not entirely false that good teams have shown more success against stopping the Dolphins than bad teams. Which, when you say that out loud, that sounds so stupid. That sounds like, duh, good teams are better than bad teams. I understand that.
But it's at a significant rate. Yeah. Like, we don't punt against bad teams. We put up 500 yards, over 500 yards a game against bad teams.
Just the way it looks, even just the eye test.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily like completely disagree, but you don't just have a team that puts up 500 yards a game, 37 points a game, and be like, okay, they lost 2 games to 2 good teams, they're frauds. Like, you're still even a good team. The Eagles didn't put up 70 points. The Eagles aren't putting up over 500 yards a game. Like, even against the bad teams. Like, yeah, they'll have one of those games every once in a while, but the Dolphins are having it damn near every game.
Yeah, but the point is that, like, we have an ebb and flow, whereas, like, bad teams here, good teams here, where, like, most of the rest of the league is bad teams here, good teams here. Like, the drop-off is pretty significant from what we've seen in 2 games. The offense just does not operate as well as our defense. Our defensive line played better. And, yes, I understand a lot of injuries involved, but our secondary just has not looked great all year long, even against sometimes bad teams.
It hasn't looked good at all, and I think a major factor in that is, Xavier Howard, he's a press corner. Like, that is what he does. That is what he's best at. That the defense was literally built around him with Flores. And you can't really say otherwise, because it was. And it was built around having a great secondary that can cover in man coverage. Now you have Vic Fangio. He runs a lot more zone, and he doesn't. He has an ego about him, and I think it kind of is starting to rub the defense a little bit the wrong way. Like, the way he used Xavier Howard against Stephon Diggs. Like, he didn't put Xavier Howard on Stephon Diggs. He said, okay, Xavier Howard, you're playing here, and you're staying here. And then wherever Diggs lined up, which a lot of the time it was up against Cater Kohu, because that's what they literally call plays like, okay, you're not going to bring Xavier Howard over here. Okay, we're going to put Diggs over there. And that's just what they kept doing. And then you go and it's just no one on this defense can really play zone. Xavier Howard can kind of play zone. He's not good. I wouldn't say he's in the top 15 at zone corners. Cater Kohu is pretty decent at it. Eli Apple
is just bad in general.
Bad. He's just bad. He's just bad. Like I feel about him how I felt about Keon Crossan last year, and I was losing bad. I was losing my mind with Keon Crossan. Like at least Eli Apple, like he makes tackles, but he plays so soft coverage that he'll literally let you catch it and then he'll tackle you. And like that's the definition of bend don't break, and you know how I feel about bend don't break defenses. They just they break.
It's been working for me on Madden. Like I've been playing a lot of Madden online recently, like in the last week. Have not lost a single game yet, and bend don't break kind of works for me. I just play cover 3, play off the receiver, and just kind of work because eventually people start taking risks, and it kind of materializes in real life that if we were able to get more stops, teams would have to do more. They would have to take more chances, but they don't. Like the deep shot to AJ Brown, which was an incredible throw.
It was
that was the only time they really had a play like that where they try to feed the ball deep down the field because they didn't have to. I mean, they literally could have set up in the brotherly shove every single play and probably won the game if they wanted to.
They literally extended, I think, 3 or 4 drives doing their brotherly shove. They did it once outside their 45. They did it once on.
They did it on their own like 22-yard line.
Yeah, that was insane.
I was so mad because I knew they were going to get it.
They were gonna punt, and then I was like, okay, cool, they're gonna punt. And then they called timeout and brought him out, and I'm like, oh,
crap,
my life.
Yeah.
And I just knew that they were gonna get it, and then we got them again on another 4th down, the same drive, and then they just lined up really quickly and did it. Like there was not even a question of if they're gonna punt. They went for it twice on their own side of the field.
No.
Like,
do you think that play should be banned?
No,
I agree. Stop it.
And look, as much as I hate it and as annoying as it is, it's a copycat league. People have tried to copy it.
And they can't.
Yeah, they can't, because what it is Jason Kelce and Jalen Hurts. What other quarterback in this league squats 600 pounds?
I mean, I do, but
you're not a quarterback in the NFL.
True. Sorry. Yeah, my bad. I forgot about that part.
Maybe Josh Allen.
Are you gonna be squatting 600 pounds anytime soon?
With my torn hamstring, sure.
Yeah, Donovan's on IR. You're probably you're definitely on season-ending IR. Hopeful to be back by the beginning of the next season.
Throw.
Yeah,
I can still throw.
If you're on the Dolphins injury report, you're IR and you're not getting brought back for the rest of the season. Torn hammy or torn muscle that connects whatever crap. You're done for the season, bud.
I was just keeping it simple with the hammy, but you had to go there.
What difference does it make?
Whatever.
They're gonna type in like trying to find you on a general hospital search or something like.
Hospital.
His credit card number is 519-636-4278. The security code is 903. His social security.
No, it's 901. Get it right.
Is it actually? That'd be cool.
No, I said no.
Oh, you went out there for a second. You guys want to know my security? You guys want to know my social security real quick?
602.
Yeah, guess my
72. 602-72 1005.
You got it.
Oh, let's go.
Bro, imagine. What are the odds? So the lottery is 6 numbers, 1 to whatever it is. nine single-digit numbers. What is the odds of getting that correct on first guess? I don't know.
0.
Yeah, pretty much 0.
0.
We got to goofy hour a little early.
We did get to go.
Okay, I'm really hungry, so I think we should just get straight into the. I think we should just get straight into the actual preview of the game.
Yes.
So this is the second time they're playing the Patriots this season. First game, 24-17, a game that came down to the wire. Very close game that, it came down to that call. Was it a first down? Was it not a first down? I think it was pretty clearly not a first down, but some people would argue. I think the good argument for that was call on the field maybe should have stood, but I digress. We won the game. Since then, they've lost. Not every game. They got that one win against the Jets, and then they won last week, of course, against the Bills. They're coming off their best game of the season. They're a lot healthier than we are. They've seemed to somewhat get their act together, but I still don't have a lot of confidence in this Patriots team. We've talked a lot throughout the stream about their team, about the situation with our team. What is the number one thing about this Patriots team that concerns you in any way?
It would really just it's hard to say. I would probably have to say Kendrick Bourne just being over the middle in our zone defense. I mean, we know that against man coverage, Mac Jones is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, but against zone coverage, he's actually one of the better quarterbacks in the league. And if we run a lot of zone against this offense, that could be something that Kendrick Bourne can just sit in the middle of the zone and eat up yards, extend drives.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we're not going to be having to play Matt Judon. We read out the injury report previously, and he is not on it because he's likelihood is going to be out for the season with his torn biceps. He had the surgery on that. So the rush on Tua is definitely going to be a little easier than it may be, as well as Devon Godshaw and Christian Barmore on the injury report. Both their interior offensive linemen, and the interior is where we had our struggles on Sunday with probably the best defensive tackle pairing in all of football. So you go from one of the best teams in the league and a team that is at a really high right now. I just don't believe in them still. I still think they can very much finish with a top 5 pick, which is where I predicted them to finish in the beginning of the season. Playing against the Bills, beating the Bills, definitely is an eye catcher. But when you kind of break it down, again, they had the perfect game outside of the Kendrick Bourne fumble. You're playing a divisional opponent, somebody who you're very familiar with, at home. It was a perfect storm that the Bills started off their first drive with an interception from Josh Allen. It was the perfect storm for the Patriots to win, and they just narrowly escaped, ironically enough, with a Mac Jones touchdown to Mike Gesicki. I mean, it doesn't get much more storybook than that, at least from a Dolphins perspective, watching that game. Do you really take them that seriously, even still?
Take them more seriously than I did before. I still think that we're going to win. I don't think it's going to be as close as the first game, but you got to respect some things about them. Although J.C. Jackson against Tyreek Hill, if Tyreek plays, kind of juicy for the second time this season.
Yes.
We'll probably have Jonathan Jones on them, but then we just have J.C. Jackson on Jalen Waddle, which is still...
Take your pick.
Yeah. Just J.C. Jackson, period.
He's already got burnt once.
Good. Remember when he was good?
Yeah, and they got paid a boatload of money. Him, Deshaun Watson. Maybe they should go on vacation together. Oh wait, don't do that. But you might end up in some legal issues. The Patriots, they don't have any teeth really. Like you look at the rushing attack, it's bad. Like last week, 96 total yards on the ground. Demario Douglas had one long rush, which yes, it still counts. I understand, but a wide receiver rushing attempt, I don't remember what it was, but that's kind of fluky. Like, you look at their stats on the season, and it very much backs that. Like, fantasy owners, if you own Ramondre Stevenson, you've been pounding your head against the wall wondering when is he finally going to come around, and I don't know if he is. 268 yards on the season, 3.1 per carry, 2 touchdowns. And now Zeke, I think, has back-to-back games with touchdowns, so he's starting to take away some of the goal line game, but he's not good either. He's actually been a better runner, 224 yards, 3.7 per carry, but Ramondre is always going to get involved in the receiving game. Kendrick Bourne is their leading receiver, 34 catches, 370 yards, 3 touchdowns. We talked about him a little bit earlier, and I'd say you're more fond of him than I am. How good of a receiver do you truly think Kendrick Bourne is?
In the NFL itself, the landscape, I would put him as a low to mid wide receiver 2, so probably somewhere in the range of 40s to 50s. I think he's better than Gabe Davis. Not sure if that really means much, but
That's iffy. That's iffy.
I think he's in that range. I remember we went on the whole thing of we can name 50 better receivers than Gabe Davis.
Was it Gabe Davis that we did that for?
I think, yeah.
Okay.
We went on a long we went on a long rant, and I pretty much what I think he is right now. I think he's a low to mid end wide receiver 2, but he's their best receiver. Besides Demario Douglas, who's a rookie, he's up and coming. He looks decent, but once again, when your receiving options are, and no offense, I love you, Devontae Parker, but you are ass.
He is, which I've been trying to smack that into your head for the last couple. Well, it didn't take as much. It didn't take as much to convince you of that. But are you now convinced that Mike Gesicki is also in that category of just absolutely cheeks?
No,
dude, he sucks. He's
17
catches, 149 yards, and a singular touchdown. That touchdown being the game-winning touchdown last week. What is he? What is he good at besides jumping up and being taller than people? He's not good at catching the football because he doesn't get open. Him and Devontae Parker are two of the worst receivers in the NFL when it comes to separation. They got Tyquan Thornton, who's kind of a quick guy. He's missed a bunch of games this year, only played twice. He's only got 3 catches on the season. Demario Douglas is a nice weapon in theory, but he's yet to be utilized to what he could be, if he was on a better team. But he is the second leading wide receiver. Hunter Henry is the second leading receiver on the team in general with 210 yards. Mario Douglas, 197. He's got, with a minimum of 10 catches, he's got the best yards per catch. But you're looking at 10.9, 10.5, 14.1, and then 7, 8.8, 10.3. Who else? Got 6.1, 4.5. Like, this is not a big play offense. They don't move the ball downfield well. They'll pick up a first down or two, but their drives generally stall really easily, and it's the literal opposite of what we see with the Miami Dolphins offense.
Yeah, where like if you stop the Dolphins on a couple of early downs, it's still like we talked about it like the last couple of years. We feel good about picking up a 3rd and 7 or a 3rd and 10, whereas like before we were like, okay, great, now we're gonna punt, But even on, I think we converted at 3rd and 18 or whatever it was to Cedric Wilson against the Eagles. Like,
you think? So I think I already know what your answer will be. This is a little away. This is kind of big picture rather than within the confines of the preview. But we're here. Do you think Belichick's going to pass Shula?
I don't think he's going to retire until he does.
So he is
He's a solid 40 or 50. No, not 40.
He's 36 behind. He's 36. Shula's got 347. Belichick's got 331. So he's actually 3rd. So next he has to pass Hallis. What's his first name?
George Hallis.
Is it George Hallis?
Is it George?
I mean, it's...
Sounds right.
NFL.
It does sound right, does it?
It does.
Not?
It does.
I think he already passed him, though. I think Bill is the second most.
Bill Belichick holds the record. No. I'm pretty sure he's 3rd, actually. We just kind of forget. No. Okay, yeah. Oh, so that list wasn't up. That list was actually as of 2020. He is 16 behind Don Shula.
He's only 16 behind Shula.
He's only 16 behind Don Shula. So that's obviously better than 30-something or whatever, as we said. 16? Yeah. That's like... if the over...
That's like a couple of years, 3 years for him.
347,
2 years.
331. And how this Patriots team is playing, do you feel confident they're going to reach 8 wins this year and or next year?
How many wins do they have now? 3?
2.
They only have 2?
They only have 2. I'm going to take a look at their schedule and just try and figure out on the spot how many games I think they could win. Because they are the worst team in the division, even though they've already beaten the Jets this year. They got to play us, which I think is going to be an L. Commanders, Commanders suck. Patriots might win that. Colts, I'm taking the Colts. Giants, 50-50.
They're going to win that.
Chargers, Steelers. Chiefs. Broncos, 50-50. Bills,
Patriots, yeah.
Jets. I'm taking the Jets. So what I say, 2 or 3 wins, so that puts them at 5. So if you put them at 5, that means they have to win 11 games next year for him to tie 12 games next year. He's 71 right now. That means he would have to play till he's 73, 74 years old, or coach rather, till he's 73 or 74 years old. It's possible.
He just signed a 3-year extension.
Is he really? I mean, I hope he plays it out. We found ourselves in such a weird position where I hope Bill Belichick continues to coach, because I think they're in a better, or they would be in a better position if they could go find somebody else than Bill Belichick.
So the problem isn't Bill Belichick the coach; it's Bill Belichick the GM.
It's everything. He is what he is.
Yeah, but it's even our lovely Patriots fan Jay, he says like, look, Bill deserves this, time to try and pass Don Shula's record. He earned it after winning 6 Super Bowls and however many winning seasons over the last 20-something years. But the problem still isn't Bill the coach, it's Bill the GM, and even Jay said that. So to have, Patriots fans be like, yeah, he's just not good at evaluating. I mean, he drafted Cole Strange, a possible 3rd-round pick, in the middle of the 1st round.
But you can't separate the two. That's where he is. He is the coach, he is the GM, and I don't believe, at this point in his career, what reason does he have to give up GM responsibility? He is in total control, so why would he give that up? I think it's a all or nothing type thing for him. I
never said he would give it up. I'm just saying that's the problem.
It's the problem, but I wouldn't say the coaching isn't the problem. I think it's at this point it's all one. I think he just views it just so symmetrical, and it is all together in one. Like, he coaches a certain way, which requires him to get players for a certain way, and like if he was just, I don't think he'd have all the success Mike McDaniel's having the Dolphins if he was just given this offense. I don't think he'd have just the same success. If he was given like the 49ers defense or the Jets defense, then I think he'd have success on that side of the ball. But I don't think you could just hand him the keys and say, have a lot of success. I think he would still try to do things his way, which are clearly not working. And they haven't worked a lot recently against the Dolphins. Tua is still undefeated. Our one recent loss against the Patriots, he did not play. Tua is still undefeated against Bill Belichick. Donovan, do you think that continues?
100%. Not even.
How does the game go on Sunday?
It's gonna go like this. The Patriots are gonna stall us on one of our first few drives. They're gonna go ahead, kick a field goal, maybe create an interception, turnover. But then the Dolphins just come right back, punch them in their own teeth, and just absolutely obliterate them 32-21.
I think it's gonna be a frustrating game. While we've beaten them every single time we've had Tua, last year when we played them down here in Miami, I believe it was like a 7 or 10 point game. It wasn't a blowout. Then the game that we played against them in New England, obviously we lost, and then the game we played against them in New England this year, Sunday Night Football, a lot of stake. The first primetime game of the season, it was just 7 points rather. We're so beat up. Like, even the guys that we think / hope are playing, like, playing at 50% is still not great. Even if those guys do play. If they miss, obviously, if Ramsey isn't able to come back, if Xavier Howard misses another game, Connor Williams misses another game, Waddle, Tyreek Hill, the list goes on of guys that could potentially miss this game. Eventually, like, when we saw against the Eagles, it really affects you having some really good players miss the game. I still think we're going to win. So, if you thought I was going that direction, you're a fool. But What's the over under on the game? What's the betting odds over under? I'd say it's probably like 46 and a half. I'm taking the under. I'm taking the under on 46 and a half.
46 and a half. Just to
46
let you know that the Dolphins are, I think, 11-point favorites right now.
9 point favorites.
Went down. Okay.
I'm
It was
probably
multi-digit.
I'm probably taking the under, and I'm probably taking Patriots plus 9. I'm gonna go with 21-17. Not a sexy answer, not fun.
All right.
A win's a win, but I just don't have a lot of confidence. Let me finish talking. I don't have a lot of confidence in this team, the way it's currently dealing with injuries, and Patriots do seem to play decent against us, but not win. I don't have a lot of confidence for this to be a massive blowout or anything like that.
I want you to keep this in mind. At home, we scored 70, 31, and 42.
Not against the Patriots.
Our lowest scoring game is 31.
Against who?
Giants.
How many wins do they have?
2.
Same as the Patriots. I trust me, I get same as the Patriots. But those 3 teams have a combined 3 wins. 4 wins now. I forgot the Broncos won on Sunday. That's so weird that the Broncos won a game. And Patriots, again, also only have 2 wins. But it's not the same thing. Playing the Panthers, playing 2 non-conference opponents, and playing somebody on the other side of the country from you is different than a team with a head coach who you've been playing as long as I've been alive. Longer than When did Belichick become the coach of the Patriots? It had to have been the late 90s.
It was in the late 90s. I want to say 97, 98.
Belichick's been playing this Dolphins team since before I was alive, since around the time you were born. He knows the Dolphins. He knows how to play in Miami.
He hasn't had
divisional
opponent.
He hasn't had success, but the game's been close. Like I said, I still think we're going to win.
I think the last time he won in Miami was the tank season.
It was. We got obliterated. Patriots defense that day. Appreciate y'all.
Oh my god. But we did win in New England later that year, ironically.
Last game of the season.
Last game of the season, knocked the Patriots off for the number 1 seed.
We did.
Yep. Remember when Kevin Harlan called both games? Amazing.
He is such an underrated commentator. There's a few guys. Who's Greg Olson's partner? He's really good.
Anyways.
No, we're done with football talk. This is now nonsense talk. Commentating partner. I know his name. Kevin Burkhardt. I had a feeling it was Kevin. Kevin Burkhardt, really underrated, really good commentator. Who's the guy who just said?
Kevin Harlan.
No. Oh, you said Kevin Harlan? Yeah, Kevin Harlan and Kevin Burkhardt. Something about being named Kevin. There's some really good.
Ian Eagle's pretty good. I like him.
Ian Eagle's good. Yeah. Like, obviously, everyone, I think they're better than Tony Romo.
Gus Johnson. I wish he would do NFL so badly.
What I would give to have him back on NFL. What I would give to have him commentate not every, but pretty much every sports for the rest of my life.
What network does he commentate for? Is it
Fox.
Is it ESPN?
Fox.
It's Fox?
Yeah.
Don't Fox have him on? Why the Fox doesn't Fox have him on?
They do. He's on big.
Not for NFL.
No, but for college. He has them on Fox's big game of the week. So, like,
yeah,
that'd be a lot. I know we want him, but I mean, watch college football and then you'll get to watch him.
I watch him every now and then.
He's
I
really
need to watch more college with doing Dynasty.
You're not gonna be watching scouting because I'm not. Him and Peter Drury. So my soccer fans out there, Peter Drury over in England, Gus Johnson, the 2 goats of commentating. I think that's a wrap. 8:10, little over an hour, about 8 minutes, 8 minutes. Hour and 5 minutes. Would have been an hour and 10 minutes if this guy was on time, which he never is. But that's the show. Thank y'all very much for watching. Hit that subscribe button. If you missed any parts of the show, the clips from this will be out throughout the rest of the week up until game day. We will both be at the game, so I still need to find somebody to take with the game, take to the game. But appreciate y'all We'll be back with you guys live next Wednesday.